All right, joining us now here on In the Circle at D1 Softball, powered by 643. She was an All American at North Carolina. She's currently an assistant at Bryant. And of course, getting ready for her second season in the pros, playing for the Atlanta Smoke. I speak of Kat Rodriguez joining us here on In the Circle. That's a lot of stuff you've added to your resume there.
Hey Eric, good. Thanks so much for having me. But yeah, it's been a year for sure.
How would you describe the last 12 months?
Softball, softball, and a lot of moving parts, but overall rewarding.
Let's discuss, obviously, you coming into your second season now. You'll be playing for the Atlanta Smoke. Just take me through the process here in your playing career. What did you learn from last year, playing in your rookie year professionally, entering your second year?
Honestly, I think there's been like a huge role switch from the 2 years. Last year, I was with the Orlando Monarchs, and there was about 16 of us on the team. Now with the Atlanta Smoke, Brandon Phillips actually put on a great spring training. He had a bunch of girls come out, pretty much try out, and pretty much told us, hey, nobody's safe. Like, this is a growing program. We want to be great. No one's safe. Like, let's go out there, compete for 3 weeks, and then we'll pick a roster from there. So honestly, it was competition right off the bat. Like right off the bat, we're competing with each other, going hard. But then after the 3 weeks, I ended up making the team and I found myself in a different role. I've kind of been playing the corners more than in past. I've always been a middle infielder, but honestly, everyone is so willing to help and teach each other and learn from each other. So it's been pretty cool. It's been a great experience so far.
What's it been like getting to know your teammates? Which players have you gotten to know, and was you excited to get to know?
Characters, if I could say that. Everybody is so different, but it's awesome to see us all come together. But I think the coolest thing is I would love to say that BP loves his ACC girls. So it's cool to see a bunch of girls that I've been competing with for the past 4 or 5 years, and now we're teammates. So we actually just got like these Carolina blue uniforms the other day, so it's been fun to like poke at the girls that are in Carolina blue. So we have Tessa Malaulu. She was with us last year as well on the Monarchs. She went to Duke, so that's been a fun one to poke that she's in Carolina blue. Reese Hunter, she's Georgia Tech, so that's another one. And then obviously a bunch of FSU girls, so it's been fun to mess around with them. But I would say those two girls, Alex Coleman, um, McKenna Dowell, those are like some pretty good, awesome teammates that I've had so far. Yeah.
You mentioned Coleman. How's she doing? Because I remember last year summer she got hurt.
She did. She actually got hit by a pitch by Donnie Goldberg in the hand.
Ooh.
And the first thing that Donnie said when we got spring training is she was like, "Hey, just want to apologize for that for like ending your season. Sorry about that." But nothing, Coleman's doing great. I think last night she had three, I think she went 3 for 4 or something like that. Coleman is Coleman. She's a on base machine. I don't worry about that one.
Which teammate has impressed you? Like, just you knew they were good, but just seeing them now on a daily basis, you're like, wow, yeah, wow, that's impressive.
Janae Jefferson.
Fair.
Obviously, everyone knows who Nay is, but I was taking a few reps with her at second at the beginning of the season, and I was just like, how do your hands move like this? How do you move like this? So I was like, hey, Nay, like, have you always been a second baseman? And she was like, no, I used to play outfield my whole life until my first year at Texas. They moved me to second. I was like, so this is new to you? And you're this smooth? She will read hops and read ground balls like no one. I'm like, how did you see that? She was like, oh, I just count the hops. I'm like, sure, okay. She's awesome.
I would say so. That's a good resume right there. She's
Mm.
with what she's accomplished over there.
Yeah.
It's been pretty impressive there. What keeps you going playing professionally?
Honestly, the girls and the love for the sport. I mean, everyone always says like, you're not gonna remember these moments, you're gonna remember the teammates and all this stuff. And it's kind of true. Like I look back at the spring training that we had and like although we were competing and obviously in and out every day, what I remember is like the times that we had. So I think what keeps it going is just like, first of all, the friendships, and then second of all, like I genuinely love this sport. So I also learned while I was coaching, I was like, dang, I want to be out there so badly again. Like there's moments where I'm like, give me a bat, give me a bat. But so I think it's just like the genuine love for the sport, like just not ready to give it up yet, you know?
Understandable. Get
Yeah.
it. You know, play as long as you can.
Yep.
You've played obviously in the States. You've also played international ball. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I played for Team Columbia since I was like 16.
Wow.
hmm
Take me through that. What's that been like?
It's honestly, it's awesome. So I've been with the organization for a while now, so they're kind of a little bit more lenient where whenever we have like Central Americans or Pan Americans or anything, they'll just give me like a few months notice and then I'll let them know, yep, I'm in. I have yet to say no, like knock on wood, I never have to, but so I just show up, go play with the team. And it's honestly been the same like core group of girls since I was 16. So we kind of know each other. Anytime they're doing something, like, and I see it on Instagram, we'll hype each other up, we'll talk back and forth. But it's very cool being able to grow up with them. And then there, I've also been able to bring some other girls that I've played with in the States. So Paige Gould last year, who she was with Mississippi State, she threw for us last year. Kelly Torres, Duke, like she was also there with us. Yeah, I think it's a growing program, but for sure, like it's gotten better and better every year that I've been there, which is awesome.
Does the summer of '28 Olympics does that pop in your head?
Always. It's funny because I was talking to Tessa Malolu and I was like, how long do you think you're gonna keep doing this for? And she was like, summer 2028. I was like, oh, okay, I get where you're going with this. So yeah, it's huge. I think there's like Central Americans coming up, so obviously just being able to qualify and climb the ladder is all we want to
That is so unique because you got to do travel for that. So take me.
do.
How do you prepare for that?
It really depends. So this last one, we were in Lima, Peru. I think it was the Pan Americans. But I was also playing with the Monarchs at the time. So I had told Colombia, hey, I'm currently playing pro. Like first I need to ask them if it's possible for me to go. And BPU was like, absolutely go represent your country. This is an awesome opportunity. So I met with them in Bogota like the day before we all traveled. And then as a team, we traveled to Lima. And then it just depends. Like it's pool play. So you kind of know like the first rounds of everything. So we were able to play together. We got an off day. So we all went to Machu Picchu, which was actually pretty sick. And we were there for like 2 days. And then we ended up coming back and finishing like the rest of play. But the travel's pretty much easy. We just all kind of meet in Bogota. And then wherever we're playing is where we all ship out to together.
Just meet in Bogota. You know, no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. Whatever.
Do you feel a responsibility in helping growing the game when you go to at Bogota and represent internationally?
100%. So I think in the States, we are very, very, very fortunate college-wise at the college level. Honestly, even like travel ball levels, you see people with 5 bats, 6 pairs of shoes, 3 gloves, and honestly, over there, they don't have that at all. So to be a part of the Colombian national team, you also have to be a part of one of their department teams. So it's saying like you're a part of Team Florida, but I play for Team USA. Like, so you have to be pretty much a part of a state to be able to be a part of the whole organization. And I represent Bolivar, which is like the coast of Colombia. And every once in a while, like I'll stop by and like see like the developmental of pretty much the younger girls. But every single year, both Pitt and Carolina, I was super grateful to at the end of the year, I've been able to ask the girls like, hey, anything you don't want, socks, visors, cleats, turfs, anything that you do not want, put it in this bag. I'm gonna go, when I go, I'm gonna donate it all. My last year at Pitt, I left them one like big black trash bag. I came back after 3 days. They had filled up like 3 catcher's bags, like really big equipment bags, just full of everything. Things that still had tags that they had never used, like little tiny scratches on their cleats that nobody wanted. I take it to Columbia. It was like Christmas morning. They loved it. It was awesome. It's just like getting equipment over there is like 3 times the price of getting it in the States. So they're extremely grateful anytime I'm able to bring something over there. So one, equipment, being able to take that to them is awesome. And then two, just whenever I'm over there, it's like using like little platforms that I have, social media, any type of outlet, TikTok. Like if you look at some of my TikToks, like that team has so much heart and energy. It's awesome to see, but it's been growing and it's been getting around. So I think I've played a pretty good role in that so far.
Well, that's so good. Of course,
Mhm.
everybody knows Colombia loves their soccer. That's like a
Yes.
big deal this time of year with the World Cup. I know that. So how that's the key is how to bring that interest in the sport into Central America now to Colombia.
Yeah. And it's been growing, honestly. Every time I feel like I go back, there's a new team and a new department. And then I'll go visit them, and then they have like three subdivisions under that. So I'm like, okay, it's good to see the sport growing. But I also think baseball plays a big role in that too. And the guys have been doing pretty good. They were at the WBSC, where was it? In Puerto Rico, I think they were.
I think it was, yeah.
So they've also played a huge role in growing both sports. So I think both of baseball and softball simultaneously have been doing a good job with everyone beneath. Yeah.
Now that makes a ton of sense completely there. Let's talk about your coaching hat on now. Let's put your coaching hat on. You just finished your first year as an assistant at Bryant under Bianca Bell, who's your teammate,
Yep.
which is so. Let's start with that unique deal.
Yeah.
She's the head coach. Just you're the assistant at Bryant. Won the regular season title this past year, but then now you're teammates. So take
No,
me.
she's coach. She's coach. She's
Oh, she's
assistant coach.
coaching. She's the
Hmm.
still assistant coach. Okay, then
Yes.
I always think of her as a player first. I'm sorry, my bad
Yep.
on Bianca there. Like I always think of her in her LSU days.
Yeah.
But think about it. What's that like having her obviously as a coach, but obviously you're a player still, but you're also now on her staff. And it's like, how did it go?
Yeah. So Bianca, not many people know this actually. I started my career off at Quinnipiac. So I was there my COVID year, and she was an assistant there. That was her first year. So she ends up getting the job at Pitt. I entered the portal like right after COVID, and then she was my first call. So played for her under her at Pitt. She was my assistant for 2 years. And then when I graduated, I was a grad transfer to UNC. And then she honestly helped with that as well too. She was pretty much just giving like advice here and there. Then after UNC, I was like, man, I want to play pro. Like I don't want to give this up. Also helped me do that. And then she was like, okay, now I need your help. Like, what do you think about coaching? Like, have you ever thought about it? And I was like, absolutely not. No. Like, I think it's not for me. She was like, come on, give it a year. Like, I think we'd be a really good team together. And I was like, all right, fine. So end up interviewing, ended up getting the job, and then we are the same brain. We deliver things differently, but at the end of the day, like we're delivering the same message. So I think it works very well. And then I obviously had known BP because I played with him for the Monarchs. And then he had asked for an all-star game in November. So we did that. And then I was like, hey, BP, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of Bianca Bell. Like, I think honestly, she's never retired. Like, it'd be awesome to get her to retire as a player. And he was like, oh my God, of course I know who that is. He reached out to her and she was like, what is Kat talking about? I do not want to play. She was like, I could maybe coach if you need it. And then the rest is history. Like, it's pretty cool being able to like separate the two, but honestly, it's awesome. She's our first base coach. So yesterday when I like got on base, it was cool to like turn around and have her there again. It was like old times.
See, BP was like me. Brandon Phillips was like me. Think of her as a player first. I see. All right, so I feel
Yeah.
that's we all do with the career that she had there. What did you learn in your first year as coaching, and what anything surprised you? What was it like? It sounds like you're in now.
Yes, I am. I think a lot surprised me. First of all, I was very close in age with the girls, so like I had to obviously learn the difference between that. But then also, I think I surprised myself. Like I went in kind of knowing that whatever Bianca said, like that's how we go, that's how we roll. But then she gave me a pretty big floor to help the girls both infield, outfield, and hitting. And honestly, I've really learned how to talk to, I would say, this generation, how to coach this generation, and it's been awesome so far. I've literally, I say that I'm blessed. I got dealt with the best hand of girls, and I love them. So I think being able to talk to them, being able to coach to them, and then also I surprised myself that I could do that as well. So it's been awesome. It's been rewarding.
What was it like to win that regular season title? Uh,
Amazing.
yeah, describe that here because that was the thing. Not people didn't know what to expect, and then you win that regular season title. I know it didn't go like you would have liked in the conference tournament, but still steps.
It was awesome. It was awesome to see the girls grow. I think at the beginning of the year, like if you would have put us down and told me we were running the regular season, I would have been like, oh, probably not us. You might be thinking of the wrong team. We had 12 incoming. Well, we had 10 freshmen, two transfers, and then we had 12 returners. So it was literally the definition of half and half. So many new personalities, so many moving parts. It was a lot. So I would say the whole fall was just a learning curve, getting to know each other, and then them also getting to know us as a staff. So it was a lot of culture building. It was a lot of just fundamental stuff. And then we get into regular season and we had a really tough preseason. We go down to Texas A&M. We played Texas Tech. We were playing UNC. We were playing like all these top programs that we were like pretty much competing with and like kind of hanging around. So I'm like, okay, like we're getting somewhere. And then conference play starts and the girls are killing it. And I was like, okay, there we go. Obviously, we're still learning each other and getting to know each other, but that was awesome to see them grow from not knowing each other to handling really tough adversity right off the bat to then just killing it through the regular season. So it was awesome.
Yeah, winning the America East Conference Championship. What do you hope the returners learn from last year, especially that conference tournament, and have that hunger, if you will, for going into next year?
Yes. So I think we joke a lot about being dogs, like the dog mentality. That's one of our core values. So it's awesome that we were on that stage and the girls could see how capable they are of winning it, one. And then two, just like that hunger and that want to come back and grow. A lot of our girls, a lot of our starters last year were freshmen. So being able to be at that platform and them like have those nerves. I don't think next year it's going to be the same. I think this year, like, they're going to be comfortable. They've been there. They know what it's like. They know what it's like to get there. They know what it's like to work hard to want to be there. So, and again, have that hunger. So I think from last year to this year, it's going to be honestly a 180 for them just because they've been there before, they have experience under their belt, and they're hungry. So,
It reminds me of Binghamton. I've had Jess Bump, the head coach here, and
mhm,
for they were knocking on the door. They've broken through since
mhm.
winning and I think this past year their experience actually helped them win
It
that
did.
that conference title. So I think what you're talking about, as much as your coaches want to like kind of push it as quickly as possible, sometimes there's like those steps you've got to take uh, to get to the ultimate goal.
Yeah. Bianca and I literally in that tournament, we were like, all the credits to Binghamton. They are an amazing team on all sides of the ball, defense, offense, pitching. They're a great team. But Bianca and I were pretty much just saying, like, this is the postseason team. Like, once it comes down to it, they know how to win. Like we beat them in the regular season. We put up a lot of runs on them in the regular season, and then we get to the tournament. And you could just tell, like, that was a postseason team. Like, they've been there before, they knew how to handle it, and they killed it. And even they went down to Oklahoma and they did well and they kept their head up high. Like, they represented the conference really well, and we're proud of them for that. But it's true, like, they had been there already, they had returners that were postseason kids. So it was awesome to see them.
Yeah, there was a 3 seed the year before that. For the
Mm,
first time in the program in the school conference history, they
mm,
had a team in the 3 seed. So they've sort of set
mhm,
the bar for you all to chase there.
mhm.
How are you balancing coaching with playing?
Honestly, it's a lot of just jumping into drills. This year was a little bit tougher because it was just me and Bianca, and then sometimes we had a volunteer that would bounce in and out. So I wasn't really able to jump into practice a lot. But this next year, we're gonna have a staff of five. So I know I will definitely be jumping in and I'll be pushing their buttons a little bit. I think towards the end, like I knew that I was approaching the pro season, so I just, anytime we would throw live, like at the end, I would hop in and get some stuff. Or Bianca throws amazing live. So after practice, I would be like, hey, can you throw me some live arm? Or if I saw one of the girls was working on something, I didn't care what position it was. I was like, let's go. I'll push you. I'm like, you versus me. Don't let me beat you. So it was competitive with the girls and they grew from it. But also, I was also getting my reps in that way because it is hard. I mean, we're in the office in the morning and then we don't have practice until later. We don't get out till 6, 7. So it was hard to train, but I got it in when I could. And I made it fun for the girls as well.
For those that may not be aware, describe your responsibilities as the assistant. Which I mean, because you wear a lot of hats over there at Bryant.
Yes, I do. So pretty much the roles that I'm assigned was I had recruiting, I had equipment, and then it ended up just being everything. Me and Bianca ended up doing everything together. So she handled the pitchers and like the battery pretty well. And then we did everything else together. So I had offense, I had both hitters and slappers, infield and outfield. And then you should have seen me calling everybody that I knew that knew anything about catching. I would call them all the time, or like I'd send them videos. So I wore all the hats. We both did, but we did it. And it was a good team. We worked well together.
So how do you manage this time of year where it's a recruiting season year here coming up as we speak? For many coaches across the country, a lot of coaches are getting ready to go to Colorado and things like that. You're playing, Bianca's coaching. How do you all handle balance that where you're playing professionally, but there's a recruiting season and you're trying to find players
Mhm.
to enter your program? As you mentioned, you're part of the recruiting. You're a helper as a recruiter.
Yeah. So I think we kind of just get it in while we can. BP has been great at letting us, like when there's no time, when we're off from playing, it's, our time. So we've been able to recruit here and there at like local stuff, like Atlanta Legacy's coming up, so we'll be in Atlanta. So whenever we're off, we're recruiting. Kansas City will be there next weekend, so anything that's going on in Kansas City will be out there. But like I said, we have a new staff this year, so we have a volunteer, Coach Lalo Marcano. He is out recruiting for us right now. I actually finished last night's game and I had built him a schedule for like these next 2 days. So I'm texting him at like 11 p.m. I'm like, "Hey, Coach Lalo, sorry it's late, but here's a schedule with some girls I'd love for you to stop by and see, some teams I'd love you to check out." And he responded this morning. He's like, "All set, got it, on my way." And then we also have another grad assistant. His name is Caden Graham. He's coming from UNC as well, but he'll be one of our pitching coaches. Um, but he's doing OGX, something like that, the OGX in Chicago. So he's kind of clearing our like Midwest area. Coach Lalo will be traveling to Colorado next weekend, and then Bianca and I will be hitting Legacy. So somehow it's worked out. We've been able to just be on the call with people, and then we've also, those two guys have been a huge help for us, and they've been on the road for us a lot. But honestly, it's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. At the beginning of the year, or at the beginning of the season, we were freaking out. We were like, the portal's about to open. We can't do any visits. We can't do this. Like, we were freaking out. But those two guys have been great for us. And then obviously, BP here has been great to just let us be able to come back and forth when we aren't playing or practicing.
It's true. The portal too. You got to handle that as a coaching staff there.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Somebody who had experience in the portal as a player,
hmm
how has that helped you now as a coach handling, dealing with the portal now? Because you're on the other side of this now.
hmm So I tell this funny story about UNC. It's a true story. So I go into the portal for my grad year and I email, oh no. I apparently got an email from UNC the first day the portal opened. Never got this email. So I keep going throughout the whole week. I think it's like Friday. I called one of the girls who was at UNC and I was like, "Hey, I know you haven't had your exit meeting yet. Like, throw my name in there. Like, I would love to go to UNC. Like, that's an awesome place, awesome academics, everything." I get a call back immediately from Coach Corey Lyons, and he's like, "Kat, I emailed you on Monday. What do you mean? Like, we've been going back. Like, I've been waiting for you to respond." And I was like, "Are you sure there's two Y's in my email? Are you sure you put both Y's?" And he checks his email and he was like, nope, just one Y." So I never got that email. So I think, first of all, I'm very diligent, making sure whoever I reach out to, it's the correct phone numbers, correct emails, correct everything. And then also we just pop in. Honestly, we use Twitter a lot. We use Twitter to see who's hopped in there, or Coach B and I will just look at specific positions that we need. But yeah, I think one of the big advices is dot all your I's, cross all your T's, make sure everything's correct.
That's good advice. Very good deal. Do you find yourself though relating to the players when if you talk to the players in the portal because you've been in their shoes?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Coach B also knows that I could relate to a lot of these kids. So she kind of lets me take the first phone call or the first step out just to be a little bit more personable. Obviously, I had been in the portal twice. I knew what I wanted both times, and it was something different both times. So, first of all, knowing what everybody wants. First of all, they're people first before they are athletes. So, what's going on? Why do they want to transfer? What do you want from this experience? What do you want from your portal experience? Everything. So I think the first call is extremely important just to see where they're at and what they need and what they want. Because if we keep prolonging something that we just can't offer them, like someone wants to be a teacher, we don't have that at Bryant. So if I'm constantly communicating with someone and then at the end I find out that what they want to do is this in education and we don't have that, it's like, it's not useful to them or our time. So I think that first call is really important on getting to know them as a person before a player.
I remember last year I asked you, "Hey, have you had time to reflect on your Carolina year, your career?" You're like, "No, I got too many things going. I'm playing, figuring out the pro stuff." I think you were getting ready to head out to play for Columbia there. All right, so you've had an extra year since then. Have you now had time? You reflected on your time at Carolina and your collegiate career.
I have. I feel like I'm still on the go, 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 where I haven't really reflected and sat down. However, as a team, we went down to UNC for a second weekend to play, and they asked me, they were like, "Hey, Kat, do you want to throw out the first pitch?" And I was like, "Me? Like, why would you need me to throw out a first pitch?" And our SID was like, "We have a laundry list of things why we would want you to throw out the first pitch. Like, you hold so many accolades and this and that and that." And I was like, "Oh, I did do all of that, didn't I? Yeah, I'll throw out your first pitch." And then I go out. Also, one of our administrators, Britt King, was there from Bryant, so she got to see the first pitch, and they also gave me like a plaque, which I had broken an NCAA record last year, so they gave me a plaque, and then also my first team, all ACC little trophy, and then there was one more thing, but it was three different gifts plus the first pitch, and they're reading everything, and BK comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, you were like the real deal at UNC. Like you did this. Like no one's gonna take this away from you. This is an awesome honor." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right. I did do all these things." So I would say it didn't really hit me until I was able to go back home and like I heard all that and all the girls were so appreciative. Like they were so welcoming. The staff was welcoming. It was honestly an amazing weekend. So I would say that weekend. And it was also Valentine's Day, so it just felt like so much love that time. But I would say that was the day I finally got to reflect and like see, like, yeah, I really put on a year that year.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes, that's why you earned the All American level there,
Mhm.
status. Did you throw a strike?
Nope.
Oh no, what
I
happened?
throw it to I threw it to the backstop.
No, you didn't. No.
Eric, I got nervous. I got nervous.
Wow, sounds to me like you've grown even more admiration for pitchers now.
I have. Oh my gosh. And Bianca has me throwing live this year. I think I throw from like 20 feet. The girls probably hate my live arm, but it's okay. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Working on it, very fair. That's fair. Where do you have your plaques and trophies?
So I have a shelf right now in Providence, like where I live, and it's just collecting dust. But it's a
You're not showcasing it like in your office or anything like that.
Everyone told me that. They're like, "Where's your stuff? Like, you should have it in the office." I have nothing besides a little cat that I got as a souvenir from Singapore. So I think this next year, maybe I'll move them out to the office. But
Every
yeah.
coach does that. I'm telling you, as somebody who's been to many coaches' offices, every time I walk in, it's like a museum of their career, and I don't, and they clearly do it on purpose because whether it's the player they're coaching, maybe it's a recruit, whatever they want. I guess they want to show off.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I'll bring them
Yeah,
out.
that's my advice. It doesn't have to be everything. It could be just stuff that fits the office there. You mentioned Singapore. When have you been to Singapore? Because I've been to Singapore.
So I actually haven't, but two of our girls on the team went to Singapore for like a grad thing. They went, honestly, the whole month of January. They were a little bit late to come back to spring, but they brought me back a cute little porcelain cat, and I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh, this is amazing." So I put it on my desk, and it was a sweet gift.
yeah, I've been to Singapore when I did it. I did a whole trip of Australia and everything. Yeah,
Did you love
Thailand.
it?
Yeah, it's very clean and neat,
I love
organized.
that.
Just
That's on my bucket list. Yeah, for sure.
oh yeah, I recommend that. That's really
Yeah,
good.
my
Australia, especially if you like
Australia.
they love softball up there.
I know. I think it's awesome. But it's funny because both my dad and my brother are pilots. They're airline pilots, so we've been able to travel a lot. we've done like Dubai, we've done Brazil, we've done a bunch of like random stops during vacations, but Singapore is definitely on all of our bucket lists,
Yeah, it's
so
not
I'm
bad. Yeah,
excited.
it's good. A lot of electronics up there too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're good. So that makes a ton of sense. You mentioned BP many a times during this interview. That's for those that don't know. That's Brandon Phillips, who owns the Smoke, former Major League Baseball player with the Cincinnati Reds. What's it been like getting to know him? And did you know who he was as far as his baseball background?
Yes, so I'm a huge baseball fan. I grew up loving baseball. Obviously, he was already very famous when I was younger, so I always knew who BP was, but getting to know him more on a personal level, I think is so funny. He is literally that dude. That was his nickname, like in Pro Bowl. So he's very swaggy. The way he like comes up to us and talks to us, it's very like mellow, chill. He's very like he knows he's that guy. So it's been awesome getting to know him, playing for him for 2 years now. Anytime we make a sick play or we hit a home run, he is the first one on the fence, like talking his crap. Like he is there for us. He's really like a player's GM. He's awesome. He's a great guy.
Yeah, of course he's involved, and so is WWE superstar Jade Cargill, who
Yes.
owns the Smoke. Have you met her?
Yes, they actually threw like a little welcome party for us when we made the team. And them two together is so funny. She had like her new haircut, so he grabs the mic and he's singing for her like on this mic in front of all of us, and we're like, "Hey guys, this is a party about us. Like, come on." And you just see him like singing, like loving her. It's awesome. They're a good group. They're awesome.
Yeah, she's got a presence. I'm a big wrestling fan, so I was kind of intimidated when I saw her in person last year.
I was gonna say you've met her?
I met her briefly. I was very kind. I was very like I remember she was looking for a chair, and I'm like, "Here's a chair. Here,
Here,
I think
here, here. Here's mine.
yeah, literally, that's what I did. I gave her the chair, and then I wished her luck at SummerSlam because I was a mark.
Yeah.
I was a deep geek, so I left her
Yes.
alone though because yeah, she was locked in on the softball.
Yes,
Uh,
it's funny because obviously BP has a tenure in baseball. Like he's awesome. He's all this. But then I met Jade and I was a little starstruck.
yes,
I was like, hello, hi, nice to meet you. Oh, we hug. Okay, yes, hello, hello. Like it was awesome. She's cool.
yeah. My goal is to get her on the podcast at some point, but the problem she's traveling all over the world. It's got a busy, hectic schedule.
Yes, they're
Uh,
just in Europe.
I know. Yes, she was.
Yeah.
Rough life. You know what are you gonna do? I'll let you go on this. Obviously, as you're getting going now in your season, as you're just getting going, what are going to be some of the keys for your team, this team here, to accomplish your goals here this summer?
Honestly, it's just working together. We have a moving lineup every day. So I there's like key starters every day, but I would say that it's always moving and anyone that you plug in anywhere handles it amazingly. So I think it's one that we keep working together all season long, and then two that the bats stay hot. I think we're a really big offense. So as long as the bats stay hot, pitchers keep dealing, we're gonna be good. It's a good group.
You all got together in Puerto Rico, right?
That was an awesome trip.
What's
Yeah.
it like?
So we actually got to play the Puerto Rican national team, but I had just come off playing them in Colombia last season. So I kind of knew all of those kids already. So I felt like a just another game for me. But it was awesome. It was awesome. We were at the oh no, I forgot the name of the stadium, but it was a stadium that the WBSC was played at. So it was huge. It was awesome. It was a good
Oh, were
crowd.
the MLB games and the World Baseball Classic games? I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That was awesome. Great experience. We were there for 10 days, so we got to play them in a series of three, and then we played Kansas City, who's also in our league. We got to play them for a series of three as well,
Yeah,
but
that's right.
it was awesome. That if we do that again, I'll be there.
You're not opposed to that trip then.
No,
I
not
think
at all.
second year. I think it's the second year in a row started the did that
Yeah.
trip. I think so.
Last year we were in the Bahamas.
Bahamas last year. Okay. So
Bahamas last
Bahamas
year.
last year, Puerto Rico this year. Right. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I like the tours
hmm
there. All right. Well, I know you've been busy. You've got a busy schedule. You're getting game days. We're recording this. But it was good catching up with you. Like I said, I'm
Thanks,
excited.
Eric.
Welcome back. Look forward to seeing you play this year with the Smoke and then coaching with Brian. If you do you have what's it? Is there such a thing as a time off for you at all or no?
Uh, No.
No, doesn't exist. I didn't think it did.
So we finished the August 10th, I think. That's
Yeah.
the finales, and then I think we start going the 18th at Bryant. So I get a good 8 days at home.
That's 8 days. Well,
Yeah.
in the meantime, hey, enjoy playing. Like I said, always fun to see you play, and then a great year as your first year as assistant coach there. Congrats on that, and wish you well this summer. And we'll be in touch. Thanks so much for always talking to us here on In the
Yeah.
Circle of D1 Softball.
Always. Thank you guys. You guys are great. Thanks so much for having me.